भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि नहि रक्षति डुक्रं करणे. O fooled mind, seek the Lord, seek the Lord. When the death approaches you, no materialistic accomplishments can save from the fear of death. Seek the Lord, seek the Lord. Dear devotees, we have come almost at the frag end of the Moha Mudgara, that is the destroyer of the delusion. Because of the delusion, we are suffering. According to the Vedanta, non-dualistic philosophy, because of the ajnana of oneself, that is the ignorance of oneself, one's true nature, we are suffering. In Bhagavad Gita, I think in the 5th chapter, we get Agnena avrutam gnanam tena muhyanti jantavaha. Agnanena avrutam gnanam. Ahamasmi Brahma. I am that self that has been covered by ignorance. I am thinking wrongly that I am the body, I am the mind, I am so and so. Then tena, because of that, muhyanti jantavaha. Human beings are, beings, they say, human beings are suffering. They are undergoing a lot of suffering. So as a compassion, as a mercy, Vedanta is trying to teach you, it is showing the pathway to get out from the problem of samsara, problem of suffering. And that's what the monks and the saints, all the great ones, out of mercy, out of compassion for the humankind, they are telling time and again what is the way out and what is the way to experience the unalloyed bliss or supreme bliss. Sukata kriyate rama bhogaha Pashya danta sharire rogaha yadyapi loke maranam sharanam tadapina munchati papa charanam. This is one of the, from 28th verse, 28, 29, 30 and 31, 4 verses are concluding shlokas. If you remember my previous class, the first is, it is called charana. It is a repetition. So the next 12 verses has been attributed to Adi Shankaracharya, core teachings. Then when he gave these teachings, in and around him, 14 his disciples were there. 14 disciples were there. So by hearing his great teachings, they all got inspired and they contributed their teachings. They contributed their ideas, Vedantic ideas. That's how 14 shlokas been added there. Now, once these 14 shlokas were given by their disciples, then as a conclusion, teacher of this Moha Mudgara or Bhajagovindam, he is concluding his teaching in these 4 stanzas. Now, in the 28th verse, he is just slapping the worldly mindedness. The people who have got worldly mindedness, for them, he is giving a tight slap. Why? Very readily, one indulges in sense gratification or cardinal pleasures. Later on, alas, come diseases of the body. Even though in the world, the ultimate end is death, even the man lives not his sinful behavior. So the author is telling, okay, we need food, we need recreation and other things. We shall have it, never mind. We shall have recreation, we shall have some fun, we shall have some games, all these things. But we are going behind so much, we are having so much obsession in sense pleasures and sense gratification. Because of that, our body and mind is getting weakened, and slowly we get a lot of diseases because of that, because of unregulated lifestyle, unregulated food, consuming food, or unregulated recreation or whatever. Because of that, we get a lot of diseases and we become the food, prey to the death. Though it is a square fact of the life, though it is a bitter truth of the life, but unfortunately, man is unable to understand, or even if he understands, he is unable to come out from this problem. Alas, what a mirage or what a delusion this is. Now, the same idea, if you can see, even in a Kathopanishad, the Nachiketa, small boy, tells that Indriyanam jarayanti tejaha. I may have got a lot of food and lot of things, but by enjoying and experiencing them again and again, time and again, what happens? Slowly, my body, my sense organs, my mind loses its nature, its power. Then things may be there in front of me, but I can't enjoy. When we are young, we can eat oily food, we can eat sweets, we can eat how many burger, pizza, whatnot, chocolates, ice creams, and all. But when we become old, all of them might be there. We have got more money now. We have got more freedom now because we are grown up and we are the owners of our wealth and all. But our body cannot have it. So that's why the way out is told by in Bhagavad Gita, Yukta Ahara Viharasya. Ahara Viharasya Yukta means Ahara. We should be regulated in food. It is not the too much fasting or it is not eating too much. So we should have a middle path. Yuktahara viharasya. In recreation, in playing, or just spending time in internet surfing, or seeing TV, or using mobile, or just going and spending time out in the outdoor games or indoor games or whatever. One should have a discrimination. Yuktahara viharasya. Yukta chestasya karmasu. In work also, we should have a discrimination. So much we work hours together, and because of lack of sleep and lack of rest, we may get a lot of psychosomatic problems, health problems, stress, then BP, then diabetic or whatnot, the heart attack, all these things. Yukta swapnava bodhasya. So much sleeping or not sleeping and too much dreaming. All these things has to be reduced. There should be middle path in all of them. So this is what the author is trying to tell. So because of sense gratification, which is very imminent and which is very easily available for us, and which is at the lower level, immediately as the nature, our mind and sense organs keeps on going behind it. And unfortunately, without a discrimination, without thinking, we also become prey to that. Because for small desires and to fulfill small desires, we get small happiness. So for that small happiness, we are sacrificing our life. We are paying heavy price. So why don't you understand? That's what the author is trying to tell. Now, is it then author is trying to tell that we should not enjoy the world? We should not enjoy the things? No. You can enjoy it, no doubt, but it should be in regulated way. It should be in limited way. It should be with the discrimination. Use discrimination and you do it. Otherwise, Swami, you may say all these things, but we don't mind. We will have it. Then scriptures will say, okay, all the best. Bye bye. Then after once you have, and when you have to suffer, then don't come and complain or don't repent or don't. It is too late. So it is much easier to enjoy and spend our time and waste your time and energy, but it is very difficult to control and raise your level of consciousness or raise your level of understanding and seek for the highest bliss, more constructive happiness or whatever. So evolution is the result of effort and struggle. It doesn't come simply. So we are living at the level of instinct. Then what is the difference between man and animal? There is no difference except the body or talk or whatever. So if we are living at the level of sense gratification alone, that means we are living at the level of instinct, and it is animal life with a human body, but animal life. Then what should we do? Slowly we should evolve ourselves. We should evolve ourselves from the level of instinct to the intelligence. So we should, intelligence means what? Living an intelligent life. What does it mean? Having a discriminated life. Okay, let me see TV. How many hours? Maybe an hour or two. And not just seeing a movies or what, or simply fun games or whatever. Instead of that, let me use that to see some good movies or seeing some good documentaries or to enable my knowledge or to have some good lectures or good talks we can listen and we can improve. Using as a part of recreation, we can improve our knowledge and we can make use of the time. So evolution. So body may not change externally, but our thinking has to change. By that, we will get evolved. From the level of instinct, we have to get intelligence. Okay, I would like to eat chocolate because I like chocolate. Never mind, eat it, but not too much. Maybe one or the maximum two. But for that, you have to work also. You have to burn your calories. Otherwise, you will get obesity and diabetic and whatnot. And burger and pizza. And for example, you are watching a movie for 2, 3 hours and go on eating chips or Pringles or whatnot, popcorns and with a Coke, so many things. Then what happens? Instead of becoming having a all-round development, we will have only round development problem. So we should have a discrimination, intelligence, too much sleeping because there is no work or I have got a holiday today. That's the reason I will sleep till mid-afternoon for no reason because of laziness. Instead of that, I would have got up, I would have baked, cleaned house, and I would have spent some time in study or meditation or helping some needy people or some gardening work. Any constructive work I could have used the time. So here we need intelligence living. Means with a conscious living, we have to do constructive work and which elevates our life, elevates our mind, elevates one's personality. That's what I mean intelligence. Then slowly you have to rise oneself to the intuition. In Gayatri Mantra, Om Bhur Suvha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Let my intuition be awakened, thee. The Rishis invented so many things. They discovered so many things, either in the empirical world and the spiritual world. Why? Because of that thee. They were able to tell what is the distance between sun and the earth. And now in the present day, with the advanced telescopes, that has been proven more or less it is same. How they were able to tell without having telescopes, probably in those days, because they made their mind as an instrument and they raised their level of consciousness and their thee was awakened. As a result, they were able to understand and discover all these things. So heliocenter, geocenter. In a West and with including Bible and all, they had a geocenter. Earth is around. But whereas in India and with the Rishis, they said sun is in middle and the whole solar system is in and around. And they are told 9 planets already, Navagrahas. And sun is the center point of the solar system. That's where so much worship of sun is there in Indian culture. In many cultures, it is there, of course. It was in Mayan civilization, it was in Egyptian civilization, etc. How they could understand all these things? Because of awakening of the intellect. So from instinct, we should evolve to the intelligence. From intelligence, we should evolve to the intuition. If you are living at the level of instinct, what happens? You are in reactive mode. Reactive, we keep on reacting to the people, reacting to the situations, reacting to all petty things and wasting our energy and mind and peace is getting into pieces. If you go to the intelligence mode, then you are in active mode. So you are a man of action. You spend your time and energy in action, in achievements, in preparing something or in achieving something, in a productive work, constructive work, etc. Either internally or externally. And if you go to intuition, you will go to transcendental mode. You are doing a lot of work externally, maybe, but your mind is calm. Your mind is quiet. You are enjoying peace and bliss. No man can disturb you. No situation can disturb you. No things can disturb you. So you can live at the level of eternal calmness with doing work. You may be living in the world. You may be CEO of a company. You may be a teacher. I mean, you may be a professor, or you may be a, some data analyst, or you may be a housewife. You are working in some company, some place, and you are doing some research. You may be doing anything, any work. You may be having any, people in and around you, but you will not get disturbed because you have transcended all these things. Your mind has soared high. For example, eagle, vulture, they rise to such a height easily, and anyone and any other birds, they cannot attack them easily because they fly at the very highest level. So when your mind goes to the highest level as much as possible, then small things it doesn't disturb. In all the great personalities' life, that's what we see. When you study any great personality, their mind had transcended from these day-to-day things and from hustle bustle of life and small things, petty things. That's why they had lot of time and energy for constructive things. Otherwise, we'll be wasting our time for petty things. That's what. So the evolution has to happen from instinct to intelligence, from intelligence to intuition. This is what I mean, life journey. For example, when you started eating burger or a pizza or a Coke or some chocolate, it is okay. You felt, yeah, it is nice, interesting. Okay. One or two times you ate. Then third, fourth time, you said, yeah, it is okay. It is nice. It is pleasing. I like it. Okay. That is also okay. That is also acceptable, understandable. Then slowly, because of repeated habit or whatever, then it becomes necessary for him, for you, or for him, or for her. Without pizza, your day cannot end. For without Snickers chocolate, I mean, I love so much, so that's the reason I'm telling. So without Snickers chocolate, you feel the day cannot end. Without burger or any other thing, for an example, without that you cannot end. Recently, there was a survey. People they are saying that without food they can stay, or without internet they cannot survive. People go mad without net because the mobile gets standstill. Mobile won't work without net, and you can't see movies, you can't get things. You are disconnected from the world, and people are going mad. It seems. So we have become slaves to the net internet. Man invented internet, but internet has made us slaves, unfortunately. So it becomes necessary for us. Then slowly, still if you become the prey to that, it becomes absolutely necessary. Without that, you can't survive. You'll become mad. That's how liquor or smoking and drinking alcohol, consuming alcohol or drug addiction, that's how it becomes. Initially, it is pleasant. Then it becomes you start liking. When it gets intensified, you will see it is necessary. And then afterwards, it becomes so much so necessary. Even without breath, you may live, but without that or this, any particular thing, you may not live. So you will become absolutely slave to that. So things can manipulate, world can manipulate us, people can manipulate us. This is what the nature of the sense gratification. These are all steps, one by one, one by one. So without it, we cannot live. Means it has become a toxic for us. So we have to be very careful, either in a mobile or a net, internet, or any usage or any other external materials or external instruments. All of them are very good, no doubt. They don't have any problem in themselves. But it is how we use and for what we make use of it, it is very difficult. You can use the mobile to see movie, to talk with people, to send some messages. You may be some of you who are listening my talk online, using mobile, you may be listening to the talk, my talk or some other's talk. So using technology and instruments can be used for a good purpose and for bad purpose, for constructive purpose, for destructive purpose. So here one should be conscious enough. That's where the effort and evolution and struggle is required. And also, there is a Patanjali tells very beautifully in his Yoga Sutras, Jati Vasana and Bhoga Vasana. Jati Vasana means tendencies, are the impressions, are the desires which comes along with the species. Now, for example, a dog puppy, even if you throw into water, it can swim. Who taught the swimming for the puppy? It is it is naturally built in the dog species. For example, if you put a child or a kid into the water, it cannot swim. It gets drowned. Okay, that's the one thing. And other thing, for example, either in a dog or in any animal or in any being, including human being, the hunger, it is a natural phenomena. So no one has to train that. You need not to need special skill. So you need some food to fulfill your stomach. So that is what Jati Vasana. But now eating pizza burger or eating chocolate, eating ice cream, eating something XYZ, that is what Bhogavasana. As a necessity of the food, I'm taking some food, fine, but slowly, because of repeated habit or because of some reason, I start liking, special liking to particular food, and I get so much obsessed with that, and I keep on taking. For example, potato chips, potato fry, which is a rich carbo. I mean, sweets, some of us, and especially in India, a lot of sweets we have got. We are obsessed with sweets, some of us. Without sweet, we cannot, end our life. End our day. So this is what Bhogavasana. Bhogavasana is what? Because of the repeated habit, because of having it time and again, we get desires. It becomes a part and parcel of our life, which is called habit, nothing but. So this Jati Vasana, it is very natural for every human being. That is okay. There is no problem in that. But the problem is with Bhogavasana. Because of the repeated habits, Bhogavasana is cultivated. So all our struggle should to regulate and to streamline, to control the bhoga vasana, not the jati vasana. Patanjali says very clearly in his Yoga Sutras. So this is what we have to understand. Yes, hunger is a natural phenomena. We need some food to fulfill our stomach, definitely, no doubt. But it is not eating so much. We have to eat food because it is like a fuel for our vehicle called body. But eating too much is because of the desire, because of the tongue taste. So that's where the problem comes. That's what Bhogavasana. So we have to be very careful. Otherwise, what happens? We'll get a lot of diseases, and we may boil down to boiled vegetables, and everything is there in front of you, but we cannot eat it. So this is what Maya. We know all these things. It is not that none of you know, or it is not that I don't know or you don't know. Every one of us we know, but we are unable to control ourselves. We're unable to regulate our mind. Whoever is able to, they are blessed people. They can lead a happy life, more healthy life. So having all of them is not a bad thing, but having too much unnecessarily, indiscriminatively is what wrong. So one has to have a discriminated life with full of conscious and with full of regulations. That's what the author is trying to tell. So in spite of knowing all these things, but still we have become victim of our desires, victim for our taste, our tongue, and victim for our sense gratification, and we are suffering, and we are paying heavy price. Alas, what a mirage, or what a delusion. What is the power of delusion? So, okay, now this is what the root problem of our human life has been told by the author in the 28th verse. Then, about wealth and different type of wealth, how we are behind that and what is happening is trying to tell in the 29th verse. Let us try to see. Artham anartham bhavaya nityam nasti tata sukalesha satyam putradapi dhanabhajam bhitihi sarvatraisha bhita ritihi. Wealth is a calamitous, thus reflect constantly. The truth is that there is no happiness at all to be got from it. To the rich, there is a fear even from his own son. This is the way with wealth everywhere. Now, what is the cons? What is the negative effect of the wealth or the money has been given by the author, has been depicted or described by the author. Now, a general, a very commonsensical question will come for any listener. Then should we not acquire wealth? Should we not work for money? If I say no, or if Shastra, scripture say no, then you will say it is, how can it be? It is against common sense, or it is, I don't think it is possible. Yes, no doubt. Even scriptures cannot give such type of impossible and impractical suggestions. If they give, definitely we cannot accept and we should not accept. Now, then why they are denying, or why they are denouncing, why they are putting down the role of the wealth? So wealth is necessary. Money is necessary for our life, to purchase a house, for a vehicle, for fuel, for food, clothes, shelter, for movements, and for helping people. Money is required, no doubt. No one can deny it. And if someone denies, we cannot accept it. We should reject it. But what the author's intention here is, what the scripture's intention is, if you are obsessed too much about this wealth itself, money itself, that is what wrong is. Wealth is a basic necessity for our life, for most of us, no doubt. We should earn, we should acquire the wealth for our day-to-day life and expenses. But if you spend most of your time just in acquiring wealth itself, then you are losing your life for petty things, and you are losing your life, or you are getting cheated from the highest things, possible things which you could have achieved. That is what the author's intention is. So we need wealth, we need money. It has its own value, no doubt. It cannot be denied. No one can deny. But you can't spend your time and your complete energy just in acquiring wealth. First, we thought if you have got a house and little basic necessities are taken care, fine. That has been achieved. I wanted little more, fine. And again, little more, little more, little more. So the whole day, most part of my time I was spending in acquiring wealth. And afterwards I say, I don't have time to eat food properly. In time, I can't have a time for, to eat my food properly. I don't have a time to spend with my children or the family. I don't have time to exercise. I don't have time for good things, my reading or a music or a coming to any good place or attending some good events. I don't have time. Why? Because all my time I'm spending in acquiring wealth. So such type of attitude is not right. That's what the author's intention is. So Vedanta's demand or wish is always to pull down, to bring down the edifice of sorrow in a human being. So whatever is the problem for a human being's sorrow is what the author is trying to, or the Vedanta is trying to tell in front of the seeker and make him to understand and to come out from that problem, come out from that instincts or whatever, so that he can rebuild the temple of joy in the same place in his life. So, and also you see very interestingly, man discovered money actually. Man created this money. Okay. So, because I have created a money, I made money, I discovered money, I am supposed to be the lord of the money. I am supposed to be the owner of the money. But unfortunately, I may be owner, but I have become the slave. Money has become a slave. So that's why there's an interesting, the notion, a comment or a quote that money says that I have never seen the dustbin. It is maybe a piece of paper. Money is nothing a piece of paper, no doubt, but it has never seen a dustbin. Even something, oh, it is because of hygienic, I will not touch it. I will not take it. Including food, we will say. But money, however it may be a bit dirty, however it may be hygienic or unhygienic, that never mind. We shall use solution or whatever, Dettol or whatever, but we will take money. We don't use any, we will not discuss about the hygiene when with respect to touching money. So we give so much importance. Never mind, but we should not become slaves of money. That's what the author's intention is. So do not get carried over by just money or name and fame or power, position, and external accomplishments alone. There is something great which is there in your self. That is what self or consciousness. Aspire for that and try to save some time and energy towards that, and so that you can increase your quality of life. That is what the author's intention is. Why money is necessary? If you spend your time more and more for that, when money increases, your problems also increases. We thought if we have got money, we will get happiness. Because of more money, I might get happiness. And also along with that, I will get fear. My peace is under stress. My peace is under stake. I thought if I get money and I can have a good house and I can have alarm and I can have that and I can have this, etc., etc. So basically, money can give security, I thought. And I worked and I accumulated. Now, because of a lot of money, I have got a fear. My security is at stake. Lot of suspicion, lot of stress. I have got a watchman to protect my money, to protect my wealth. Sometimes I have got a doubt about my watchman itself. If he do something, because I heard a story recently that watchman and someone else, they made a deal, and watchman helped such and such a guy, and both of them basically killed a person, and they grabbed the money, or they stole the money. Like this, many stories we keep on hearing it. So we thought money will give security and happiness, but money is along with that, it is also giving stress. It is also giving anxiety. It also can give apprehension. It also can give fear. And if you're a rich person, millionaire, your own son can become a problem for you. Your own wife can become a problem for you. Your own relative can become a problem for you. So now you have to understand its necessity and its limitations and its demerits, cons also, and use it discriminatively, earn it discriminatively. So author is not against earning, author is not against any of them, having money and all, but it is his intention is only understand the necessity, understand the limitations of the money or wealth, and accordingly spend your time and energy. Now, telling the limitation of the sense gratification and its demerits and the money and the wealth. No, okay, what all things not to be done has been told in essence. Now, what has to be done? So don'ts nots or don'ts has been told in 28th and 29th verse. In the 30th verse and 31st verse, 30th verse especially, author tells what to do then. So he's giving the spiritual practice in nutshell. So very important sloka also this is. Pranayamam pratyaharam, nityanitya viveka vicharam, japya sameta samadhi vidhanam, kurvavadhanam, mahadavadhanam. The control of all activities, the sense withdrawal or the sense control, the reflection, along with the japa and the practice of reaching the inner silence, this perform with care and great care. So basically, author is trying to tell what are the spiritual practices one has to perform for self-realization, for removal of ignorance, for removal of delusion. Now, if you remember earlier shloka in the previous class, Geyam Gita Nama Sahasram, Neyam Sajjana Sange Chittam, Deyam Dina Janaya Chavittam, like that I had told. So there itself, four or five steps he had told. What is that? One is studying Gita or any scriptures. Geyam Gita, Nama Sahasram. Then worshipping of the Lord, worshipping the Lord or worshipping the different sahasranamas or whatever. Nama Sahasram. Then Neyam Sajjana Sange Chittam. You should seek the holy company, holy people's company. Then Deyam Dina Janaya Chavittam. So whatever is possible based on your wealth and your strength, we should help the needy people as much as possible. Dana, we should do some charity. We should help the needy. So these four things has been told. Now, in the previous verse, more or less, he told now elimination of the wealth hunting distraction or sense gratification distraction and wealth hunting distraction has been told by right thinking. So these are the five, and if you add a sense gratification also, then it will become 6. So these 6 are considered as Bahiranga Sadhanani. These are external spiritual practices. Spiritual practices which are achieved at the external level, according to some of the commentators. So studying of the Gita, worshipping of the Lord or singing hymns or whatever, then holy company, then charity, then understanding the limitation of the sense gratification and the wealth or money, and having a control. All these things are considered as Bahiranga Sadhanani. Now in this particular verse, now author is giving Antaranga Sadhanani, internal spiritual practices. Now what are they? First he is telling pranayama. Pranayama, what is that? Every one of us, we know actually. What? It is a breath control. Control of breath. It is very unfortunate that pranayama means only breath control. We have been neglected or we have been limited the word meaning of this pranayama. Pranayama is breath control, no doubt, but it is not just mere breath control. Prana means it is a life control. It is a life energy actually. So it is a control of life force, means control of life's activities. That's where it is called apana, apana, vyana, udhana, samana. Life, 5 types of life forces has been given from the scriptures. So controlling the life force by controlling the life activities. So pranayama means we have to control our life activities, sleep, getting up, and doing our different type of actions from dawn to dusk. All things has to be controlled and it has to be regulated. I should not do unnecessary thinking, unnecessary actions and waste your time and waste my time or energy. Then pratyahara. Now, okay, I have to regulate my activities. I have to regulate my life force. And also along that, I have regulated externally. But if there is no internal control, then there's a wastage of time, wastage of energy. If I'm not able to control my senses and if I'm not able to control my mind, then external control is not alone enough. That's what it happens in suppression. Oh, doctor said I'm not supposed to eat sweet, so I'm not eating sweets. Externally, I'm trying to control and suppress my desire, but internally, there's a lot of desire. So I will suppress my desire, externally control my desire to some extent. Afterwards, it bounces back with interest. Then instead of eating 1 sweet, I may end up in eating 2 or 3 or 4 sweets. So controlling of senses and controlling of mind is also very, very imperative, very much required for our life, for our spiritual progress. That is what told in Pratyahara. So controlling or withdrawal of the sense organs, withdrawal from the mind. Every day we need to give some quality time for ourselves. Oh, Swamiji, I'm so busy. I don't have time for meditation. I don't have time for studies. I don't have time for contemplation or spiritual practice. We scriptures feel pity for such people. Oh, my dear, if you don't have time for yourself, then you will be at stake. You will be in problem, my dear. So every day, at least we should give some quality time for ourselves, for our own growth. Selfish, it may be selfish. Never mind, it has to be a good amount of sleep and some time for meditation, some time for either meditation or prayer or spiritual practice and exercise or walking or some good study or any good hobby, basically. If you're on music or study or hearing some good talks. So basically, every day we should give some quality time for ourselves, which brings good for our body, for our mind, for our thinking, for our emotions. It is very, very imperative, very, very important. So for that, withdrawal is required. Now to control our activities and to control our mind, we need a right understanding. Right understanding is very, very important. Even in Jainism, Samyak Drushti, and in Buddhism, it is told importance. And in Vedanta, in every religion, in every philosophy, right thinking, right attitude is very, very important. The stress is given. That is what called Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka, Viveka Vichara. What is right? What is wrong? What is eternal and what is ephemeral? What is good and what is best? We have to discriminate. That is what right view of reality, right attitude, proper thinking, and that is what right thoughts, good thoughts, proper thoughts, constructive thoughts. Very, very important for all of us. The whole of our life is based on these thoughts, actually. Recently, I heard that, from a psychologist, he says, every day, not less than 16,000 thoughts it crosses our mind, it seems, minimum. Now we should examine ourselves how many thoughts are really constructive, helpful, beneficial for me and for you or for society. Hardly will be there. Many of the thoughts which crosses our mind, it is unnecessary. Wastage of time, wastage of energy and whatnot. So we have to be alert and we have to develop consciously rightful thoughts, constructive thoughts, positive thoughts. Now you may get a question. Why do we need it? What is the use? What is the benefit of that? Because thoughts will create an impressions which is nothing but fuel, which will act as a propelling force, catalyst force to perform actions. As your thoughts, so your actions. As your actions, so your results. As your results, so your character. As your character, so your personality. As your personality, so your success or failure, happiness and sorrow. So all these things come from the root, the seed is what thoughts. Thoughts are very essential to our life, but we don't know actually. We are not conscious. We are not aware of this. So thoughts are very, very important. Thoughts, it has created civilizations. It has destroyed civilizations. It has created humankind, people and society, and it has destroyed also. For example, thought, in someone's mind, some thought came. That's how, for an example, in Northern Ireland, in Belfast, they were able to build Titanic ship. And some same thought, in someone's mind, it came to destroy a ship. And it was destroyed. Of course, Titanic ship got destroyed in the accident. That's, we all know that. So thought helped to build an empire. Thought is also helping to reduce the empire into ashes or into the dust. So thought is very, very important. In a righteous person and in an evil person, what's the difference? Thought. In a righteous person, in a noble person, right thoughts are more. In an evil person, wrong thoughts are more in number. So because of that thought, their actions are different. Their fate, punya and papa, luck, good luck and bad luck is different. And because of their character is different, because of their personality is also different. I can be constructive personality. I can be destructive personality based on my actions. Actions are based on my thoughts. So Nityanitya Vastu Viveka is discrimination between right and wrong. It has to happen every time as much as possible. And we should keep on doing that. And we should hold on to the truth, hold on to the righteousness, and leave as much as possible. Renounce and denounce the wrong things. Or, as Swami Vivekananda says, reject whatever makes you physically, mentally weak. Reject it as a poison. What a great statement. Whatever it makes you weak mentally, physically, intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, reject it as a poison. If someone says that this is the best sweet, would you like to have? Okay, but it has been mixed with poison. It may be best sweet, which is never available for me, even so, but I will never venture to take it. Why? Because it is mixed with poison. So similarly, whatever habit, whatever thought, whatever action which brings us down, we should reject it as a poison. That's what Swami Vivekananda says. So, and after all these things, what happens? You have got a control over your mind, you have got control over your sense organs, and you are doing vichara, discrimination between right and wrong, holding on to right and leaving the wrong thing, and you have regulated life force. Then what happens? You will obviously attain samadhi. You will get a concentration. You will get your mind gets quietened. Your mind is silenced. Your thoughts are under your control. There is no unnecessary restlessness, unnecessary disturbance, or whatever. And you are at the level of concentration. Mind is samadhi, means your mind is reflecting on consciousness, your mind is reflecting on the God, on the Supreme Self, or whatnot. Then what happens? Peace is on to us, happiness is on to us. That's what we are saying. So these 5 sadhanas, pranayama, pratyahara, viveka vichara, japa, and samadhi. Oh, japa is, I have left it. So emotional purity. Many times I know what is to be done, what is not to be done, but I can't do all the time. So then repetition of the Lord's name, singing hymns, glory of the Lord. By doing that, many times it will help. We are all emotional beings. So doing japa, doing prayers, hymns, singing hymns, all these things, it will control our energy, it will control our pranic energy, and it will help us to regulate our mind. So all these 5 sadhanas, once we do, then what happens? You will stay with yourself. Or you will be able to live at the level, in the God consciousness or self-consciousness, and you will experience that eternal bliss. These are the 5 sadhanas. So for 2 slokas, he said not to do what should not be done. And in the third sloka, he is summing up the sadhanas, antaranga sadhanas, the 5 things, and what to do. One has to do pranayama, pratyahara, then japa. Japa also can be included dhyana, then viveka vichara, then samadhi. After all these things, now author is giving Ashirvada and Palashruti, the fruits. Whoever practices the spiritual life, spiritual practices, whoever does, what does he get? And he is getting the fruits of action has been explained here, and he's also giving his blessings. Oh, my dear, so whoever listens to my teachings and follows, you will attain peace, and my blessings are there on you. Let all the good be upon you. So that is in the 31st sloka. Let us try to understand. Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhakta Samsarad Chiradbhava Mukta Senendriya Manasa Niyama Devam Dakshasa Nijar Udayastam Devam. O devotee who has kept his mind at the lotus feet of the teacher, may you become liberated soon from the sorrow through the discipline of the sense organs and the mind. You will come to experience the Lord that dwells in your own heart. See, first is terms and conditions again. Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhakta. One who is devoted himself, one who has got faith in the feet of the teacher. Means what does it mean? One who follows the teachings of the Guru, one who follows the teachings of a teacher, one who follows the teaching of the scriptures. Whatever the scriptures and teachers have prescribed, he follows to the letter. So for such a person, what happens? Samsara, the chirat bhava muktaha. My blessings there on you. My blessings there on you. So that what happens? You will be free from the cycle of birth and death. You will be free from unhappiness, sorrow, or stress, anxiety, apprehension, all these things. You will be happy, you will be peaceful, you will get liberated. That's what. So the author is blessing Adi Shankaracharya, the greatest saint and prophet, incarnation of Shiva. That's what the people, I mean, there is a saying that he is blessing us. Samsarat chirad bhavamuktaha. So once for all, you will be liberated from this samsara, that is cycle of birth and death. Sendriyam, Sendriya manasa niyamat evam. So whoever follows this teachings, sa indriya niyam manasa, one who controls mind and sense organs, are withdrawing oneself from this mind and sense organs, going externally, evam, thus one who follows, drakshasi, nija rudayastam devam. He sees, he experiences the Supreme Self. He experiences the consciousness, or he experiences the Supreme Self. Then what else is required? So why should we follow the teachings of great teachers? Why should we study Vedanta? Why should we put into practice? He will get Drakshasam Devam. He experiences the God. He experiences the Supreme Self. He experiences the consciousness. Till now, for us, it is only intellectual understanding. It has not become the fact of experience. It has not become the matter of experience. One who gets established in Vedantic teachings, means one who practices the Vedantic teachings, or the scriptural teachings, or the whatever the Guru has given in these 30 verses or 29 verses. If you follow that, what happens? You will experience the self, or you will experience the Supreme Self, and you will be experience the unalloyed bliss, and you will be eternally free. Who doesn't want that? We all want. We want happiness at all times. That's where we are struggling to find, either in a person, or in a thing, or in a work, or whatever. Then struggling, we will understand that yes, there is some happiness, but it is also mixed with sorrow. Happiness and sorrow will come. Buy one, get one free. No, I will buy one. I don't want that free. You cannot say that. Even if you say that, you don't have a choice. Then how can I go from these two dualities? From this duality, they say that seek the Lord, or seek your own self, your real nature. Once you seek and see it, means experience it, then you are at that. Then you are experiencer and experiencing, and experienced, everything gets merged, and you will be the bliss. You are not only experiencing the bliss, you will become the bliss. You are the bliss. That's the reason we have to understand scriptures and understand Vedanta. On the lighter side, that's why you should listen to my class, or you should attend my class. So may Holy Mother, Sharda Devi, Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda, Adi Shankaracharya, and all the saints and prophets, incarnations of all the religions across the globe, may all they bless all of us, so that let us try to understand the scriptures, their teachings, and let us try to put into practice as much as possible, and as soon as possible, let us try to experience the truth, ultimate truth, and let us be free, and let us experience the bliss at all given point of times. Om Priyatam Pundarikakshaः Sarvayagneswaro Hariः Tasmin Tushte Jagat Tushtam Prinite Prinitam Jagat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Yeah, dear devotees, this ends our discussion on the Moha Mudgara, or Bhajagovindam. So, and also I had told that if any one of you have got any suggestions, you can give, but I didn't receive any suggestions. So I am thinking, or I have decided that I will discussion in the next class, coming Thursday classes, I'll be discussing on Sadhana Panchakam. That's a small, again, Prakarana Grantha introductory manual given by Adi Shankaracharya, where he gives few steps, spiritual disciplines, how one has to practice, and by practicing, how one can reach the final destiny. That's a very beautiful work, and it has got just 5 verses, and I think 8 or 9 steps. Beautifully, it has been described there. So I'm thinking, and I will try to discuss in the forthcoming classes, on the Thursday classes, on Sadhana Panchaka. Thank you. Anyone have got any questions?
Pranam Swamiji, thank you for the talk. I have a question. In verse number, the first verse from today, you discussed how a person has to move from instinct to intelligence to intuition. right? And when a person is instinctive, my question is,
Mm.
when a person is instinctive, that means he's overindulging in the senses. So for example, all the five senses, and also the next sloka said about wealth, so one person is obsessed. So is it correct to say that when a person is instinctive and is not moving towards either intelligence or intuition, and continues overindulging in the senses, he is sinking or descending towards tamas? Is he already in tamas, or maybe he started in a rajasic thing, but due to overindulgence he's moving towards tamas? Is this the right interpretation?
Not necessarily. I mean, yes, he's in tamas only. He's in tamas and enjoying or experiencing it or indulging in more and more sense gratification. He's getting more and more sinkened. He's going more down actually. So there can be, he's a tamasic person. In tamasic levels, he is a good tamasic person. He's a better tamasic person. He is a best tamasic person. Like lazy, lazier, and laziest.
Yeah.
So the more and more you indulge in the sense gratification, and the more and more you become weak, the more and more you get entangled from your own desires or measures of the sense gratification, isn't it? Then
Yeah.
the more and more you'll become helpless actually. And also it is also that makes you difficult for you to come out from that, isn't it?
Yes, Swamiji. Yes, Swamiji, definitely. Because several times I have observed in my own case that this binge watching things, for example, for several hours, at the end of it, it would have dulled the senses to such extent that thoughts will not be clear. This is my own experience.
Yes, that is true. That is true. Yeah.
The next question I have is, Swamiji, you spoke about these 6 external sadhanas, and and then about this pranayama pratyahara. This pratyahara is a state where one withdraws from the senses, right? Is it the right way to say it? Pratyahara?
He withdraws from senses. No, his senses will withdraw from the world.
Okay. And
Because
is it correct? Okay,
yeah.
and is it correct to say that a karma yogi who is completely dedicated and following the karma yoga path is automatically in this pratyahara state?
See, karma yogi is naturally in the pratyahara state is very difficult to say. Like, see, he's trying to practice karma yoga, but to what extent he has achieved in that?
Okay.
So based on that, we can say that yes, to such extent he has withdrawn his mind, we can say.
Okay, Swamiji.
Yeah.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Pranam Maharaj.
Namaste. Okay.
It's nice that you are going to take a sadhana panchakam. Yes, we love to listen to those.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Pranam Maharaj.